Hey, hello, welcome. Friend, in this video, we are going to learn how we can create integration. That integration is going to call BI report, and whatever data we are getting from the BI report, the same data we will place over email. We will send over email. So I will create another videos where I'll explain you how we can send that particular data file over SFTP server and all these things. So in these videos only we will see that how we can send the report data over email. So here you can see this is our report. So once I will open the report, you can see that this report have the output format as CSV. So as if you will see here, you can see this is the CSV file, right? So I just want to know that I would just want to create integration. That integration will call this PI report and the same data will send over email. So if you will see the report output format here, report output format, you can see that we have different report output format. Just like if you will see, default format is right now CSV, that's why it's showing CSV data, but we can select XML or CS or PDF also. So in the integration only I will show you how we can send that all these types of like report format data, that can be the PDF or CSV or like any XML and all, how to send that over email. So first of all, we require the details. We require the report complete path, right? So how we can find the report complete path, let me show you. So now here you can see this is our report. So just click here and go to the schedule. So here you can see it will show you the complete path of the report. So you can see this report name is the complete report path. So you can make a copy from here only, or you can directly go and copy from this report, this one only, right? So I have just taken note of that. So I have saved here already. You can see this is the same path. I have already make a copy of that. So this thing same we will use in our integration. So let's begin. So now it's time to create integration. So for calling the BI report, we required SOAP services, right? And in integration, if we want to call the SOAP services, we require SOAP connection. So I have already created a connection, that xxj SOAP for call report call connection. This connection I have already given the URL instance of the report, that is the web services WSDL, and the user and password for that. The same I will use in our integration. So let's begin. So now here I will create schedule integration where I will call the BI report and that report data will be sent over email. So now just go to the select, and here I have to provide the name. So I will give name as xx call BI report and send data over email. Okay, now need to create click, and now here whenever we create any schedule integration, we receive that the schedule endpoint by default. That's why we don't require to configure any endpoint. That endpoint is going to like initiate our integration. So just wait for is coming the all screens. So now you can see our integration is ready to create it. So what we need to do is that first we need to add the endpoint, that endpoint like used to call the BI report. So before going that, I just want to add variable, default variable, so that I can provide all the details related to the what is the path of the report, output format, everything, right? So that each and every time I don't require to update. So here first of all I will create one variable. That variable will store the report path, var underscore report path, right? That's the done. So report path I have already make a copy here, so I will use this one. Now our report path is ready. Now I have to provide the report output format. So var report output format, and now report output format can be CSV or XML, anything. So let me say choose CSV right now, close. If I will change here XML report output format, we will get from here only XML, and the same data will be passed over server, right? Over email. So now it's time to add some, like as we want to send the report data over like email, right? We need to add email. So where to email, in to email I just want to add my email so that I can show you that one. And now I just want to create one variable for from, where from email, and I will provide here at no reply at oracle.com. Done. So here I have already created some default variables which is going to be used in our Oracle integration. So now it's time to call the BI report, right? So for calling the report, we require SOAP connection. As I have already created the SOAP connection, so I will drag here. So this endpoint is going to call report. So I will use run report, and this is SOAP. So I will use SOAP as an endpoint name. And here we have to select the run report services. So here I will select run report operation. Now next, I don't want to configure anything that the attachment as a request and all. So just I will make it as same and just done. So here in you can see now this endpoint for calling the BI report is added. Now it's time to provide the value in the mapping. For this endpoint we have mapper. So in mapper we will pass the mapping values. So in this you can see here in the body run report and the report request, inside that you can see we have attribute format. This attribute format is the one that is the report output format. So I have already created one variable for that report output format. So I will map here attribute format, and now we have to provide the report path. So here report path, for report path we have report absolute path. So I will map this report path here. So it's done, and now while calling the report we required passing the size of data chunk. So I will pass as -1. -1 defined that we require all the data coming from the report. That's why we provided -1 here. And if if our report have any parameters, we can provide the parameters details here in this endpoint only. But as of now in our report we don't have any parameters. I will skip this part, so let it be. So now our endpoint is ready to call the BI report. So now, so as we know that whenever we are going to call BI report using SOAP web services, it return report data in base 64 code. So for converting that report data base 64 code into actual file format, we required something that can be converted that base 64. So that's why we have opaque schema provided by Oracle only. So this opaque schema will help to convert that base 64 code into actual file format, that can be CSV or anything. So whatever file format we will get from the calling the report, we will that the opaque schema will convert that report base 64 code into that format only. So now here in this endpoint response of this endpoint, we will get the report response, right? Report response in the base 64 code. So now we have to convert that base 64 code. So for converting this base 64 code, we required opaque schema. For that we need to use that stage file. So I will add a stage file here, and here I just want to, what we need to do is that, so whatever data that the SOAP is going to share, we are going to make a file in OIC, creating the file in OIC. For creating the file in OIC we have write operations. I will use write report file underscore stage, because stage is the endpoint name. Next, and here we need to select the write file operation. So in this write file, we need to provide the file name and the file directory of the OIC only, where we want to place the file. So file name, let me pass as, suppose I want to give the file name as xx report file report xx invoice report, sorry, invoice report, and here I want to concatenate the date and time. So for making concatenation of date and time, what we can use is that we have the concat function and the char function. So here I will use first concat. So in this concat here, this is our first value. After that I want to add the date stamp. So for adding the date stamp, we have date function here, you can see. So here you can see date, and we require date and time also. So here somewhere we have current date and time. So you can see current date and time. So I will drag this current date and time here, but this is the date format, right? And we have to convert this date format into the string so that we can make a concatenation here. So I will use concat, and this will be concatenated with simple null value, so that this date type will be converted into a string type. And now we will concatenate this one here in our report. So we'll provide comma here and done. So here our file name is ready. You can see the file name will be xx invoice report, and the date time will be concatenated. So now done, click export. Here we have to provide the path. So this is the OIC path, OIC virtual path. I will provide as temp. Even we can store this path in a variable also. Even we can provide the name and all this thing in variable only, but let it be for the first time. Now our the whatever data we will receive from the SOAP call, the data will be converted into file format, and the file name will be this one, and the location of the file will be temp in our Oracle integration only. Now next, here it's asking for providing the path. So as you can see, this opaque schema will help us to convert the base64 into file reference. So this opaque schema is in XSD format. So what we will do, we will choose XSD here, and here we will provide the opaque schema. So I have already downloaded the opaque schema. Here you can see, so I will select opaque schema, and now next you can see this is the endpoint opaque element. Here only we need to map the report response calling getting from the SOAP endpoint, right? Here you can see the opaque schema. This is the same schema I show you. Now done. So with the help of this endpoint we are ready to convert, but for this endpoint we need to pass the data, base64 data, and base64 data is coming from the response of this endpoint. So for mapping value for any endpoint we have mapper. So I will edit this mapper. I will find the response. So run report SOAP response, this is. So I will just drag here. Now here you can see that in the sorry request, now we don't request, we need to do response. So here, now here you can see report byte. Report byte is the one in which we have the base64 code. So I will map here. Now close. Sorry, apply. Let me validate it again. Now ready. So now here you can see the first we added some default variable in which we can store some data. And now here you can see we added the SOAP endpoint to calling the BI report. This endpoint will return back data in base64 code. So we added a stage operation, and this stage operation will take base64 data and it will convert base64 data into file reference. So here we have to provide the base64. So with the help of mapping we are providing the file reference here, right? So now we have to now this endpoint will create file, and we have to pass this file over emails. For that we have email notification. So here we will use notification here. This notification will help to send data over email. So send report data email underscore notification, just create. And here we have to provide the from. So from I have already created in variable, so I will use that variable only. So this is the from email. Now validate, close. This is the to email. So here you can see we have to email variable in which I have already added the email. And now here is the subject. We need to provide the subject. So here in subject we will provide invoice BI report data. Now validate, close. And here in subject we will add hi team, please find BI report data for AP invoices. Now regards OIC support team. That's done, and we have to provide the file reference. So here in attachment we can provide the file reference, and file reference we will get from the stage output, stage file output. So here you can see we have used write report stage. So in response, once you will expand, you will get the file reference. So here friends, whenever you will get that kind of issue like the blinking issue while adding the any endpoint, just you can close and again you can do the same. So now here write, I will expand here ICS file. Inside that we have file reference. I will again drop here. Now validate, close. Done. So our everything is done. Now it's ready to send the report data over email. So here we created this integration. So each and every integration required tracing variables. So we need to enable this tracing so that the error can be removed. Save, save, close. Now we'll run this integration. This integration will read the data from Fusion and send data over email. So let me save. So it's already in configure. Now we need to activate the integration. So activate. So it will take a bit of time to activate. So now this activated, now it's ready to run. So let me run this integration. So let me submit as ad hoc request. So it will generate the instance ID. Once we will click here, so here you can see it's in QA status. So it will take a little bit of time to run. So just waiting for that. So now our integration is completed successfully. So once we'll check the log messages. So here you can see in the log message what we got. We first created default variable. Here in default variable we added some values. So you can see all these values showing here. Now after that we call the SOAP services with the help of SOAP connection. This in this SOAP connection we pass the report output report path and the report output format CSV, and after that you can see this return back the response in base 64. This is the base 64 response, and the response comes in the report byte tag. And after that you can see here we have added the write stage operation in which we pass this reference the base 64 code, and it return back the file reference, and the same file reference we send over in the notification. So here you can see while writing the stage we pass the base 64 code. So you can see this is the base 64 code we passed in the mapping, and that it returned the file reference. So here you can see we have the file reference, that is the xxtem file name, and this is the reference file reference, the file name, size, and all these things, right? And now here we have attachment. So in attachment we added the file. You can see this is the file name, send over the email, and this is the details. So now here if you will see the email, let me show you the email. So here in email you can see we find that invoice BI report data, and this is the body I have added, and this is the file. So but here you can see we have file as file not in CSV format, because of that while writing the file, right here if you will see back integration, I forget to I forget while writing the file name, I forget to path the add the file format, right? Whenever we create any file we need to add the .csv or .anything, right? So here if you will see in the write operation, next in the name we didn't pass the .csv in the last, so here we have to concatenate .csv, right? Save. Now this time you can see the file name will be .csv, and done. Next, 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 done. Update, everything is fine now. Now let me run this integration again. Cancel. So activated. Now it's time to submit the integration. Submit. So this is the ID. It will take some time. Till now let me show you that this is the file, right? Let me download the file. So here you can see this file is downloaded, right? This file is downloaded, but we don't have extension here. So if I will add the extension, right, .csv here, this will be the actual file we want. Here once you will click you can see the data, right? So then this is the report data, right? So but the same thing that adding the .csv we forget in integration only. So here we added the this time we added .csv here. So once let me complete this integration. Yeah, integration completed. If you will go to the mapping here you can see the attachment file name .csv. Now this time we will get file in the correct format. So let me show you that. So now you can see this time we receive file as CSV only. Like you can see the file format as CSV. Name is XX invoice report, and this is the date time format, right? So once you will click here, you can see the file, the same file with the data, right? So thank you so much for watching. If instead of that one, if you will see instead of here passing the sorry, go to back, instead of the CSV, if we will pass that PDF, the we will receive the PDF file over email only, right? So here let me edit that one and change the name. So first in mapping we need to provide the PDF as a report output format, right? For that we have created variable. So let me change in the variable only. So instead of CSV I will use PDF. You can use XML or whatever output format you have in the BI report, the same it will receive. And here we have to use that PDF. So instead of CSV we need to use PDF. Now save. Next, 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 done. So one more thing, if you will see, each and every time whenever we will change the format, we need to do the changes twice, right? So instead of making the changes twice, what I will do is that I will use that CSV or PDF. Here, instead of providing the hard coded value .pdf, what I will use, I will use that, I will make dot as a hard coded value. So dot, after dot I will add the report format variable, right? So here we have report output format added here. So now it will make the dot CSV. So here dot, and this will be the value, whatever value we added in the variable. So we added PDF, so it will be dot PDF only. Next, done. Updated, save, close. Now it's time to activate this integration. Now integration activated, we will run this integration. So here let me move submit, submit now. So waiting for the integration completed, I will show you that. So now you can see integration completed successfully. Now we can check the email. So let me show you that one also. So here, but before going to show you the email, let me show you the log. So here in notification you can see the file name as .pdf, right? This is the file name. So if I will show you in email, you can see here we have PDF file. Once you will open, you can see we have PDF output format from the BI report. So this is the basic integration where I have added the logic to call the BI report. I will create a next video. In the next video, what I will do is that I will add the scope, all these things here. So right now you can see we don't have exception handling here. So in the next video, I will use exception handling in this thing. So in the same integration, I will add a logic to use exception handling. And then other, I will other create another video where I will add the logic to retry logic, right? So thank you so much for watching.